Welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq. Joining me is Jeff Kilburg, CEO of KKM Financial for options expiration Friday. And Jeff, it's been an interesting cycle to say the least. We're seeing a lot more retail activity, of course, and we're also in the middle of earnings too. So it's been a busy expiration.
And Joe, we're also at new all-time highs, right? And we saw last Friday's close at new all-time highs. And this is a shortened trading week. Remember, President's Day, there's only 4 trading sessions, but the price discovery mode that we're going to see before the close, that's where it gets really exciting because a lot of people are potentially concerned about having equity exposure up here. So owning those upside call options makes a lot of sense, but people are also looking at put protection. So I think the interest inside of options is really getting exciting, and maybe there's some new folks coming into the marketplace, but that volume is actually representative of the fact that there's just more and more interest. And we've seen year over year, Joe, the explosive move higher and folks utilizing options to mitigate risk or at least to express their view in the marketplace. So exciting day, shortened week, I should say, but it also seems like the markets are not really going to take a breather despite the fact they have a little bit of a mixed bag today.
And Jeff, I realize it's options expiration Friday, but we have to talk about Bitcoin. I mean, the move there is quite remarkable as well.
It vaulted $1 trillion. Yes, Jill, with a T, $1 trillion in market cap for Bitcoin. It kissed 55,000. If you're looking at the futures at the CME group, which is the 5-coin contract, that contract's getting pretty big. But nonetheless, it kissed 55,000. The futures actually went over 55,000. So at this moment in time, you have to really understand it's been a parabolic move. And I think it's a bigger, broader conversation. We get excited. I'm actually a partner at Valkyrie Funds. You know that. We actually have a filing in for a Bitcoin ETF. We're going to wait upon that. But the fact that we go back to last October when we saw Bitcoin at 12,000, that's just when PayPal started announcing the fact that they're going to allow 350 million of their users in their ecosystem to transact in Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies. Subsequent to that, we heard about JP Morgan. Subsequent to that, we heard about Tesla. Elon Musk bought 1.5 billion and put on their balance sheet. Now, Bank of New York Mellon is talking about custodianship, really looking and viewing cryptocurrency, or specific to Bitcoin, as an asset class. Yes, it's a digital asset class, but all these movements, this is the broader swath type of adoption that we were looking for years. And that's why all those filings for all those Bitcoin ETFs got rejected. But now that the product has really matured, now you're seeing the price appreciation, and maybe at some moment in time, we'll actually get paid from our employers in Bitcoin. So this is all really exciting, Jill. And I think it really kind of brings a lot of people together to get a better understanding what actually cryptocurrency is and how can you be exposed to it in your portfolio.
Yeah, and it's really interesting. I had the CEO on from Purpose Investments, which launched the first Canadian Bitcoin ETF last week. And if you just look at the amount of, the assets under management that it has built up just within the week, it really is quite remarkable. And I'd asked him the question, do you have any fear of it being like 2017? And of course, as you, to your point about the institutional adoption, but the products that are available now through CME, whether it's Bitcoin or Ethereum hedges and so forth, allow that professional management within these ETF wrappers in indexing to occur.
Yes, and for all those years, there were not futures, there were options on futures, and I think that really brings a different component to the marketplace. And yes, the Canadian ETF, a little clunky. We're going to get excited about some type of domestic U.S. ETF if and when that comes. We're optimistic. We think it's going to come in 2021, but it's just the broader adoption of cryptocurrencies. I'm even having a conversation this weekend with my dad and some of his golf buddies to better understand and explain what cryptocurrency is and what's going on with Bitcoin, Jeff. So I think it's just an exciting moment in time, and I don't think there's any looking behind. Yes, there's going to be price fluctuations. Yes, we could see a pullback, but nonetheless, I think this whole cryptocurrency conversation and Bitcoin conversation, it's not going to abate anytime soon. And I think we're in a very different spot in 2021, Joe, than where we were in 2016 prior to the CME group launching those futures.
Yep. Great insight as always, Jeff. Thanks for joining us on Trade Talks. And thanks for joining me. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.